Let's take a look at user administration to wrap up the Remember Home screen. So the way you give people access to your system is you go in and create a person for whomever you want to add to the system. Make sure you add an email address for them, and then you can come down here to the bottom and click Add Account. And by clicking Add Account, this is going to send an email to the person to say, hey, you've been added to this organization, and then it creates and associates their account to their particular person in here within your system. And so just remember that those things are linked, that everyone who is a user is also a person in your system. And right now it's doing the emails and things like that, and it sometimes will take several minutes to go ahead and send this out. As soon as it does, you will see a screen that's then going to give summary information. And so in this case, we didn't send the email out, but typically that's what would happen. And there's the user, and then this person already has an account with a different organization. And so the accounts have then been linked, and so now this user has information and can access and switch between the two different organizations. So let's go back to the screen, and we can take a look at the person now. Now that they have an account, we can see we can now remove the account. The person still stays in your system. They just no longer have access to the data that's in Remember. We can make them an administrator, we can make them staff, and we can make them a coach. And the difference here is admin has access to the full system and all the back-end settings for your organization. A staff has more limited use, but they can access reports and all of the data, do a lot of data entry. And then a coach only has access to the individuals that they are coaching. So for example, if you had a coach that had 5 people, and if you assign the coach up here in this coach section, anyone who has this person assigned as their coach will be able to see that person and only that person within your organization, remember. And here you can see the roles. You can also add regions, and regions are just ways for you to be able to segment if you have a large organization, to be able to maybe say, hey, there's one in this town and there's another one in another town and maybe a third town. And that way people can keep that information somewhat centralized, or somewhat both centralized and keep it apart in case other folks shouldn't be seeing other people's regions. And for example, in this case, we only have one, but if you were to add multiple regions, this person would be able to see the people within that region. Finally, we come over here and it allows you to both delete the item and to duplicate this item, and that would allow you to make either a copy or just permanently get rid of this particular person. And I think that basically wraps up the Remember Home screen.